Okay, two things as we start this off. One, again, I'm going to give my overall thoughts on the film first off, and then there's going to be a really big spoiler section. Also, apologies in advance if you hear some noise in the background. There's going to be some company coming over at some point, so there might be some noise. Okay, so my overall thoughts on Black Adam is a B. I'm going to have to give it a B. It's got some really good parts in it, some well-done action sequences. Performances are fine. Everything is pretty spot-on characterization-wise. Unfortunately, there's just way too much going on in the movie for a solo film. They try to tell like 14 different stories, and it really only needed maybe tell 2. And even then, it still somehow felt just a tiny bit too long. That's how badly the pacing is in the film. Like I said, action-wise, The Rock as Black Adam is spot-on casting. He's good. A lot of the supporting cast is good. The JSA people are good. All of that's fine. It's just, it's too long and it's way too muddled for its own good. And unfortunately, that's why I kind of have to keep it from giving it a full A and just have to give it a B.
Now you can enter the world of DC Comics superheroes.
My super strength will stop your power punch, Lex Luthor. But I can't stop Mr. Freeze and the kryptonite breeze. And Robin shuts things down aside.
Not even Penguin can defeat the powers of the superheroes. Action figures each sold separately from Sharon Toy. And now you can bring all the action of Batman home with the Batmobile, action figures, and more. Each item sold separately from Sharon Toy.
Okay, again, this is the spoiler section, so skip to the following point if you don't want to get spoiled. Alright? Okay. Anyway, the movie basically, like I said, tries to tell at least 4 or 5 different stories here. We have the origin of Teth Adam, aka Black Adam. We have his resurrection in the present day and him trying to take over Kahndaq. We have the Justice Society getting involved. And we have the fact that Kahndaq was being ruled as kind of a gangster's paradise, for lack of a better term. And it's like all of these are just a little too much to be well told. Unfortunately, the way this film is paced is it's just way too much to try to keep track of everything, where it's just like, I just want to see Black Adam. Like, can't I just get my nice action-packed Black Adam story and get a clear, concise, straightforward narrative without bouncing around to 14 different people whose names I can barely keep track of? Like I said, you're going to constantly hear me talk about the Freedom Fighters in this, and not the comic book team, the Freedom Fighters, just these Kahndakian Freedom Fighters who resurrect Black Adam basically to give the people of Kahndaq a champion to regain control of their country. But I can't remember their names for the love of Pete. They went by so fast, and they mentioned them several times, but I keep drawing a blank, and that's just kind of how, like I said, there's way too much going on. And then added to that, like I said, we get the origin of Black Adam, so that's in 2600 BCE. Kahndaq is sort of Mesopotamia before Mesopotamia. It's this great civilization. At one point, though, it gets conquered by an evil king named Aktun, and he enslaves the people so that they can mine this mineral called Eternium to construct the crown of Sabak, which will give him kind of control over the land of the dead as well. So you basically become imbued with demons. It's later explained that, it's basically like evil Shazam. The way that Shazam represents certain, the acronym of Shazam represents certain people and their abilities, or certain deities and their abilities, I should say. And, from that, a young hero emerges, and he gets imbued by Shazam, basically, with their powers, and something happens where it's like they fight each other, Kahndaq is destroyed, and then kind of over time, as we jump to the present day, like I said, it's been turned into sort of a gangster's paradise, with a group called Intergang is running it because they're strip mining Eternium, and they're trying to find this crown of Sabak to try to achieve some form of ultimate power. And it's here that we meet our freedom fighter gang, whose names I just cannot... One is named Ishmael, and it's because he's the only one I can remember because of what happens with him. And they are, they're trying to get through and find the crown before anyone else, before Intergang can. However, it turns out Ishmael is the one working with Intergang because it turns out he is a descendant of Sabak and he wants the power for himself so that he can rule Kahndaq. However, as they enter, they find this chamber. They find the crown, but they also find a neighboring chamber containing the, quote, champion, Tathadam, who is buried there. And just as that happens, a woman, the female member of the group, is able to say the name Shazam, which awakens Black Adam. He starts ripping through everything until he gets hit with an Eternium rocket, and it's enough to kind of knock him unconscious. They take him back to their place to heal and have him lay low. They try to explain their situation, but he kind of seems like not really wanting to deal with it and saying that he doesn't believe he's a hero and that Kahndaq isn't his home. And it's kind of at this time that the Justice Society of Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone get contacted by Amanda Waller about, they need to take care of Black Adam. He's not trustworthy. They've been fearing that this would come at some point. And so they start their move to try to take Black Adam down, as Black Adam also starts trying to fight Intergang, because the kid manages to try to talk him into at least attempting to be a hero. And to an extent it works because, all of these downtrodden people see Adam fighting for them, and they're just, they start chanting his name and everything, and then the Justice Society gets involved, and from there, they fight, and the Justice Society basically explains that, Black Adam, not as heroic as the legends say he was. They said he, basically stormed in there not to try to fight for the freedom of the people, but basically for own personal vengeance, because his family was killed. And as this is happening, again, that more fighting occurs. Like I said, Ishmael eventually gets his hands on the crown, chants this incantation on there that they had been misreading the whole time. I'm really condensing this down. I'm making this movie seem a lot shorter than it is, but that's kind of because there's a lot of really drawn-out action sequences, and then there's a lot of just kind of the same thing happening over and over again. Like, Justice Society decides to work with Black Adam, then they don't trust him again, then they don't trust him again, then they trust him again, then they don't trust him again. You get the point there. And, yeah, from there... Okay, where was I? Sorry. Basically, as this happens during one more battle, the son of the female freedom fighter, who is this big superhero fan, gets killed. Well, he doesn't get killed. He gets severely injured, and this causes Adam to fess up that he was not the chosen champion of Shazam. It was his son. And then, once Aktun found out who, this champion's family were, they went after it, they killed his wife. His son basically tried to save his father by transferring some of the power over to him, but then he immediately got shot. And so that's why Black Adam set forth on the course of revenge. And that's why he doesn't consider himself to be a hero. And because of this, he willingly gives up the power and turns himself over to the Justice Society. He gets locked away, but then it turns out, like I said, he is, Sabak comes back. He has superpowers now, and he's fighting because he's the demonic form of Shazam, basically. And he's fighting through Kahndaq, and Dr. Fate has had these visions of the future throughout the whole film, and he knows that Hawkman is going to die unless they can do something different, and that includes him sacrificing himself and telepathically reaching Tathadam to break him free, get him to say Shazam, come back to Kahndaq, and defeat Sabak and become its protector again, as the people are now back in charge, as Intergang has been completely cleared out. And that leads us into the little mid-credits stinger where a drone that relays a message from Amanda Waller appears before Black Adam, and she says, look, I can call, you might be the strongest person on Earth, but that doesn't mean I can't call on people who aren't from Earth to deal with you. And it self-destructs, and then Superman is standing there and he says, we need to talk. And that's basically how the film ends. So yeah, you can kind of see the problem here. Like I probably made the film sound, like I said, there are really good action sequences during this. When The Rock is being Black Adam and he's fighting the Intergang people, it works. You know, when you see him in Ancient Kondak, that works. The Justice Society stuff, yeah, the Freedom Fighter bits, they kind of work a little bit. There's some interesting interactions, but other than that, they're just a little. It's a little too much. Like if it had just been his origin and then him waking up in modern day Kondak and taking on Intergang, and then maybe Sabak at the end, and then you could tease the Justice Society for a sequel, even though I know with the very, very wobbly state that Warner Discovery is in right now, that maybe wouldn't be the best idea. I think it would have been a much tighter film and a much more enjoyable film in my book. It felt way too unwieldy with just way too much going on to try to keep track of everything that felt important. And like I said, character interactions were good. The Justice Society were all really funny. Pierce Brosnan steals some scenes as Dr. Fate. The actor who played Adam Smasher, I don't have my phone with me, unfortunately, so I can't look up exactly who it is. But yeah, he was really good in it. I think, like I said, The Rock as Black Adam works mostly well. But it felt a little grindy, especially towards the end, where it just dragged and dragged and dragged. So, yeah, that's why I kind of have to give it a B. Like, I had fun. It's an okay film. It's not an entire waste of time, but it's not the world breaker of anything. So, yeah, do measure your expectations.
DC. Incredible. Action. Astonishing. Adventure. The coolest heroes. The hottest heroines. And the most outrageous villain. Too tough for TV. In the universe.
These ain't your daddy's comic books, fanboy.
The DC Comics.
Get your DC Comics at Merlin's Downtown or Gorilla Bob's on the North Side.
Okay, trailer time here, and obviously it's been a while since I've been in the theater, so we have some new trailers. We have Pray for the Devil, Devotion, and The Fabelmans. Okay, the first one is a kind of wannabe Exorcist movie. This is PG-13, so it's not going to be as intense as The Exorcist, but there's a lot of that same shtick going on in there. It's about a nun, though, who winds up specializing in exorcism, which is not something normally done in the Catholic Church. Devotion is a story about an African-American fighter pilot in the Korean War who's serving because the troops are now desegregated. The idea of there's now a interracial fighting corps. It was kind of Oscar baity. And then we have The Fabelmans, which is Steven Spielberg's biopic, which is totally not about himself. It's about himself. And then after that we had Avatar: The Way of Water again, Violent Night, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Violent Night, that is the Die Hard with Santa Claus movie. Yeah, I admit it looks fun. Probably would wait till streaming on that one, though I don't know if I would necessarily see that in the theater. But other than that, like I said, it would look fun. It would look like if you're one of those, especially Die Hard as a Christmas movie, Lethal Weapon as a Christmas movie types, you would really like this one, because this one's even more overtly a Christmas movie with more action-y points in it. Or, again, if you're looking for, I want a Christmas movie, but I don't want the schmaltzy, It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Carol type stuff. I want, let's do something a little more funny. This, definitely would strike that vein. Avatar: Way of Water, you kind of know about that already. Same with Black Panther, which is probably going to be the next movie I release. Well, the next theatrical release I review. We're definitely going to be slowing down a bit here, unfortunately. It's just a little too much going on. I gotta try to sort through a lot here. It's nothing big. It's just, a lot of stuff to do and not enough time to get it all done. So, I'm hoping I can still get this up on some form of Friday. At least on my end, it'll be up on Friday. The next video is the random trade review on Leonard McCoy, Frontier Doctor. That'll probably, I'm gonna try to get that up on Saturday, but it might be more up on Sunday. I don't know. Like I said, time just kind of got away from me the last few days, unfortunately. My house sitting is done, at least for now, so there'll be some semblance of a normal schedule getting back here, okay? See you all next time. Hey guys, remember you can request a movie or a television series for me to review at my Patreon at patreon.com/CP Time for Cat Productions. Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be alerted to further videos.